Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. And tonight, my special guest is none other than Brenda, conquering Mount Scrapmore. Brenda, thank you so much for coming.
Oh,
I
thanks for having
appreciate
me
it.
over.
I
Yeah,
like to come hang out. Today is August the 15th, 2025, 7 o'clock p.m. I like to timestamp in case anybody comes in later and they know if we do a giveaway, that's already done.
okay.
Let me see. Michelle Craftamore's in the house. Hello, Melanie Taylor. Hello. Day is in the house. Thank you. Dorlin Dale, Debt Free Quilter. Joy T. I'm not reading what everybody's saying. I'm just doing the Iriselle lady. Hello, sweetheart, and welcome, Katie Crafts. So with Debbie. And as they're coming in, I'll try to see if you guys get any questions or anything. Please feel free to ask, and I will ask. You know. Let me see. Pamela, hello, sweetie, and welcome. Anita, welcome, welcome. It takes them a good minute or so to get in once they know we're live.
Yeah.
Anne Marie, hello, sweetie, and welcome. Yo, Patty G's in the house. Zaza, welcome. It's always a good time over here. Let me see. Making sure as it's rolling for me. Katie Kraft, Debbie Gonzalez. Hi, everyone watching as I'm in the car. Okay, Brenda Foley. Hello and welcome. Tonight's live is going to be a little different. We're going to just sit and chat and hang out. I'm going to be working on my Peachy Keen project. And Miss Brenda, what are you going to be working on tonight?
My exercises for my tennis elbow.
So everybody, if you can say some prayers, she's got tennis elbow. Who would have thunk it, right? A
With this
sewer.
with this figure, I am not athletic, but tennis elbow makes me sound like I am. Yeah, that's not.
Right. I would just toss it out there. I'd be like, hey, I got tennis elbow. You know, Bob H. Hello, hello, and welcome. Let me see. I'm making sure I've got everybody. Okay, everybody's in the house. Tonight, we've already did block 1 and block 2 of the Peachy Keen. And tonight I'm doing the assembly. I spent a couple minutes while I was working with chatting with Miss Brenda and went ahead and did my row assembly. You're going to assemble these 8 across and 8 down. You're going to put a 4-inch border for border 1 and a 6-inch border for border 2. Your quilt will end up at 89 by 89. But
Those are
this is
beautiful.
going to be so easy. And as Brenda said, I'm going to have Day or one of the girls, maybe Joe can, shoot her the pattern. It's so simple. It'll give her the measurements. She can toss it out over there as well. And it's just a fun project. And she had a fabulous idea what people could do from their scraps. And I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to slip over to Miss Brenda's and find out what that is.
Or I could just tell them now.
Yeah.
Actually, Donna's idea is a perfect scrap buster, guys. Perfect. You could just take all your blues and toss them out onto your cutting table, start cutting, and you would have a beautiful scrappy quilt in a heartbeat. So lovely, Donna. That is just wonderful.
It was just something fun, simple, and it teaches you the basics so you're not losing your points.
Yeah.
And I was teaching how to make sure they get in. Kathy Hutchins, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Hope everyone is doing great. So good to see Donna and Brenda. God love you, Kathy. Thank you. And I did get your package, Kathy. I opened it up, but I have not did a live, but I'll do a sneak peek. She
Ooh.
sent me Tula.
Ooh, Tula.
Yeah, Tula. She
Wow.
oh, it's all rolled now and I'll mess it up.
Oh, it's fine. Unroll it. It'll be fine. Oh,
I
nice.
know I'm gonna whine about it, but look at this. Is this not darling?
Are those birds or monkeys?
These are birds.
Oh, very nice. Oh, nice.
And it's just all bunnies. She had me a bunny. And I like Tula a lot, but it's just something I don't go out and shop for.
No, I all that fabric now is getting so expensive. It's like,
Yeah, it really is. But they're so cute. And I've even got the pattern that came with it. So stay tuned when I get caught up on the back end. Joe's been really busy and he moved my long arm downstairs for me. And it gave us more room up here that I could. I'm so OCD. I have to stay organized, you know?
yeah.
And yeah. So now I've taken over our dining room is now a long arm room.
Well, to tell you the truth, I had to combine two sewing rooms together when we moved from Tucson back to Edmonton, right? So I had a sewing room in Edmonton.
That as you were doing it.
Yes. So then we had to squeeze them together, and it was like I actually got the room behind my laptop lid. So the bedroom
Oh,
on the other side of the wall here and we try to set it up for classes. Right now you can get back into doing sewing classes or whatever with other people, right? So
right.
but I have now 10 plus machines. I'm actually embarrassed to say I have 10 plus sewing machines. And there's
Never be
only
embarrassed. But you had two
two,
homes.
yeah, I have three of them that are new and newer models, but they're all simpler machines, and the rest are all vintage. And I'm like, oh, good grief.
That's fun. Let me see. I want to hit the chat. Janine's in the house. I didn't mean to miss you, sweetheart. And Anita, hello. Auntie Donna and Papa Joe. I got my package yesterday, and oh my gosh, they're so cute. I'm glad you enjoyed, sweetheart. Let me see. Brenda's in the house. Hello, sweetie. Amy C's in the house. I'm trying to just skim. I got a huge shipment of Nantucket summer fabric. More my style. Ooh.
Ooh, that yeah. There's some pretty
You
stuff coming out now too, right? It's just
oh
gorgeous.
my goodness, yeah. Absolutely. So you moved your well, I want to say this right so I don't sound silly. You closed out your house in the States and moved everything to Canada. Did I understand that right?
Yeah, yeah. We put our house for sale up in Canada or up in Tucson. We put it up for sale, and our grandchildren are getting to the age where they think grandma and grandma or the grandpa and grandma are the coolest people on earth, right? So you want to take advantage of that when you have that opportunity.
Right.
After, because at a certain point they hit that age and like, it's grandma, don't embarrass me in front of my friends. So, I never did
Right.
that to my grandmother's, but apparently the kids,
It's a thing.
yeah, you know, it's
As
a
long
thing.
as I don't show up at the bus stop with rollers in my hair and my robe on, this mine would kill me. They would be like, "What is wrong with you?"
Well, yeah, there's some of that too. They kind of worry about it. It was one day you get comfortable walking around your house in slippers, and then when you go to get in the car to go somewhere, you still got your slippers on, right? So it's like, yeah, you have to
Absolutely.
check your footwear, that kind of thing. Make sure you're not
Yeah,
wearing.
absolutely. Let me see. It's so much fun. Janine's putting together a new hanging file rack for more legit. Awesome. Mitzi's in the house.
Yeah, very cool.
It is awesome, awesome, guys. I've got more projects coming from them, and I'll be getting real busy again next week. So let me see. What have you been up to? Have you had a fabulous summer other than your sports injury?
Well, we've had all sorts of fun stuff. We didn't go camping with the kids like we were
Ooh,
planning on it. We did the glamping thing for a while.
see,
That
that would
was,
have been me.
yeah, we stay in their house. We take care of their cat, who also is not a camper, and then every day we drive to the campsite where they are, right? So it's
That's cool.
yeah, so it's kind of nice to do that kind of glamping. So you're still camping, but you can shower and have a peaceful.
Right. See, that's my whole hang up. I need the hair dryer, the curling iron. I need my makeup. I'm shallow and I need a good shower.
Yes, I know. And the shower at the campsite, I mean, you pay money and basically you get rained on, so you can
Right.
soak yourself to get rained on again. It's like,
Exactly. Right.
and
Um,
sometimes the
I,
rain is really cold.
yes, I can't imagine. You have a question. How do you come up with your scrappy patterns?
Mine, I get a lot of inspiration from Barbara Backman's The Encyclopedia. Just a minute here. Is it handy? No, it is not. Of course it. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I don't know if you guys use this book, but this book is
No.
invaluable. Like, just totally the bomb when it comes to ideas. Because you can go through and pick an idea. Well, okay, so let's pick something with the little triangles that Donna's working on.
Oh,
Right, that one right there. Basically, that is a triangle, a square, and then it's sashed in the middle in a
right.
point, right? Well, you can play around with that by either playing with the sashing, that you could play with the sashing and make the sashing different. You could
Mm.
play around with the triangles that point
Ooh.
towards that. You can make them, you can flip them around and have the squares inside and the points to the outside. So it looks like a 9 patch
Oh,
with,
where did you get that? That is just darling. I love that book.
you can just keep playing. And all we're doing now is playing around with the block that she has given us. Right. So this is
Right.
Barbara Backman's Encyclopedia.
Delia or Heather can, they're my mods. Can you guys look that up for me? And if you can find the link, feel
Yeah.
free to drop it in the chats. That is awesome.
There's a lot of books that like, okay, I could present, like I could present her ideas, or I could present any one of mine. I can start playing around with just this very simple block, just
right.
by changing corners and centers and like all the stuff,
Right. That's awesome. You're
playing around
um
with it.
I don't have the quilt up here. I've got it downstairs. Not the so long you just finished, but the one before. I can't remember the name of.
Chaos? Are you talking about chaos, or are you talking about spring fling?
It was chaos.
Yes, chaos. Wasn't
Yeah.
chaos a lot of fun?
Oh my Lord. I need all the blocks again. I never, ever, 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 ever do quilt twice. And
Yeah.
that one there, my friend Day and I drove out to her house and we assembled them in Michigan. I didn't drive out, I flew out. I went to her house in Michigan and we got together and we assembled them both. Both quilts, same pattern, look so different. It
Yeah.
blew us both away. And
And Deb from Sewing with Debbie, she came up with all sorts of different layouts for those. You're only making 16 blocks because they're oversized,
right,
right? I mean, and the instructions are pull out all your crazy fabric.
right. Well, that was a given.
Wait a minute.
I tell
all,
you what,
all your
like
crazy
it would
stuff.
say make 40 of this or 20 of this, and I'd be like, what?
I
And
know.
my friends Day and Heather and the girls, they were like, just embrace this. It's the unknown. I like to see the end before I do the project.
Of
And they're
course,
like,
yeah.
no, you're going blind. I was like, okay. Well, I'm telling you what, I was so glad I jumped in on that. And I missed your other one because we had stuff going on the back end. But now
Yeah.
moving forward, I can jump in on that.
Well,
Just
I
like,
was really surprised how many people jumped in on Spring Fling because it is such a, okay, step one, step two, like it was like step 13 or 14 by the time you assembled the whole quilt. Seemed like more like a marathon when you were done.
right,
The quilts that are coming out of that so long are absolutely stunning. There's
I,
a couple of them that I'm still waiting on them to post pictures within our group, the
right.
Facebook group. But wow,
But I'm telling you what, I loved it when you would I would post my blocks and I the scrappiest I could go was the hippie fabric. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
All the different colors. It was the same fabric line, but it was cohesive in my brain. And I was like, oh my God, Day. she wants me to do this many blocks. She goes, I'm doing them on this end. So every Saturday or Sunday we would hook up on Zoom and we would sew them together.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
My
Dead Free says I camp in a 3-star hotel with no bed bugs. Way to go.
yeah.
Janine says I only need a shower. The rest I can do during okay. Oh, but sleep in a bed, but you don't have to watch head hitting above. Yes. I have that book and it's in my wish list on Amazon. Brenda Shevin. I'm stitching on my jungle swab lock tonight. Brenda Foley, I got one of my birthday encyclopedias. Ooh, crossover. Hello, hello. I think I have that book. Okay. The closest I got to camping was in a caravan. Yeah, I as a child did, but yeah, that's all I have. As a child I did. I love the chaos so long. Janine did it too. I couldn't remember if you did, so I didn't want to say.
Yeah,
Dave, save that link for me, please, and I'll order it after the live tonight. But that is really cool. I could sit downstairs and I love that. That's so cool. Michelle the Quilter. Hi, Donna and Brenda. Prayers for all of you. I've been subscribed to Brenda for years. Awesome. And she loves your videos.
Oh, well, thank you.
Donna's quilt came out like it was supposed to. Mine, on the other hand, not so much. Day, it looked beautiful. Yeah, she was downing on herself when we laid them out, and I was like, we both did the same thing. How do they look so different? But it was the fabric.
Well, I did 2 quilts because once I started cutting, that was in my happy place. I was cutting up a lot of crazy fabric, and I just
Uh-huh.
enough for 2 quilts. So I made 2 quilts. And when you put them side by side, I changed one layout and I did another layout for the other one. And of course, Deb from Sewing with Debbie came up with I don't know how many layouts for this. It was
Yeah,
just
every time I would look, she had a different layout, and I was like,
oh
But we'd
yeah,
already sewed ours together.
yeah. And I was really surprised how well they both turned out, but they don't even look like the same quilt. And it's
No,
still
it's
quilt block.
crazy to think, you
Yeah.
know? Looking forward to Quilt Bingo. Ooh.
Yes, we are
Somebody
filming.
likes Quilt Bingo too?
Yeah, we are filming Quilt Bingo. We're almost at the end of the New York Beauty filming, which has been I'm never running 2 sew-alongs at the same time again. Wow.
Oh, God love you.
And
Yeah.
our next sew-along after Quilt Bingo is going to be Twinkle Twinkle.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a couple of videos I want to do in between Quilt Bingo and Twinkle Twinkle, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some fun little videos going on there, and then we're
oh,
going to do Twinkle Twinkle. So
oh,
the
that'll be
clue you're
fun.
getting, the clue you're getting is save your strings. And if you don't have enough strings, go talk to your friends or your guild.
There you go, guys.
I'm
She
sure
just
you'll get
spilled the
lucky.
tea for you.
That's my first clue, and that's my only clue. And you
Guys,
guys,
I tried to push and she's not giving you any more. Twinkle Twinkle sounds interesting. You're getting this. Never heard of Quilt Bingo. Can you tell us a little more about your Quilt Bingo?
okay, Quilt Bingo, everybody gets the same bingo card, right? Now the rules are there's no rules. So I mean you can do
Ooh,
whatever you want. Because it's your sewing room. You know nobody should be dictating to you what you're doing. So we start out, I think, with partial seams. I might be wrong. Just come on, be kind to me. Don't come at me if it's wrong. So we start
you're
with
just
partial.
giving us an example.
Right. So we have a beginner level, which I show and I explain because we want to teach the beginners how to do this and become more confident, right, with their sewing. So we show the beginner one, then we give you a pattern for an intermediate and then a hard one. Now,
Oh,
if you're already a confident intermediate, you can try the hard one by all means. Or if you you've got like 13 minutes to put some block together because that's all life is allowing you that week, because that happens too. You can do the beginner.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, and we've done that. So there's 3 patterns, and basically we're working on a skill, right? When we get to thinking things like florals, we do a
Right.
simple floral block, and then the intermediate one is, easier than the hard, but I mean, we definitely have a lot going on with the hard, right? So
That sounds like so much fun.
yeah.
Let me see. The
I
hobby
am
and
giving examples of all 3 blocks, right? Like
right.
I'm only showing the beginner, and we're giving you all of those. So when we hit things like Y seams, then you know how to do a Y seam the way I do it.
Right.
Now,
Let me see. I just saw it. Brenda, I'm sewing up New York Beauty block right now, #2. So Terry. Looking forward to Quilt Bingo. My hubby is inspired by Brenda. Absolutely. He loves Scrappy and Needles. Brenda Foley. God, I love you, honey. Janine, Twinkle Twinkle sounds interesting. Never heard of Quilt Bingo. We've got the backstory on that. That's going to be fun. We have to go over and play.
yeah,
Howdy, everyone. I've been watching on my TV, but on my computer now so I can chat. Andrea, hello, sweetheart, and welcome. G Quilter, hi, Donna and Brenda. Subscribe to you both and enjoying watching. Thank you, G Quilter. It's awesome to have you. I guess I better hang out. Wait a minute, hang on to the strings of, yes, holiday fabric. Is it going to be holiday fabric only, or?
where you can put holiday fabric into any quilt, you sprinkle it in like just a little bit of pepper into something, just sprinkle
Oh,
it in,
okay.
you know.
That's cool. Um, Annette J, hi, sweetheart. What are strings? Question. What are
They're
strings?
long, not necessarily straight or unevenly cut ends of fabric. So a string, let me just pull out a bundle
Would
here.
it be like when we square up the end of our fabric to
Yeah,
be able to use it?
yeah. So strings are stuff that's not necessarily straight, and not, they're kind of long and they're kind of wonky, and they're not, they've got selvage edges maybe, or they've got rough, crazy things going on. Yeah. That's what we're going to be using up.
So you won't need to square them down to where they're a set. Oh, wow. This could be
Well,
interesting.
yeah, these strings are easier to work with that way. If you just, because it's like, yeah, when you're squaring up, let's say a fat quarter, you're always going to end up with a piece that's long and skinny and not
Right,
usable really, unless you
right.
make a quilt, right? So instead of throwing those out, you're going to save them.
That's a fabulous idea. I don't. I bet I'll learn to. Or you can do all three if you're bored. No.
But with Twinkle Twinkle, the rule is if you don't have strings and you want to play, okay, you can come play, right? You don't have to cut square, you don't have to do your strings blocks. What you can do is just cut fabric into that shape.
Oh, okay.
So you're not, like you're not excluded because you don't like working with really tiny stuff.
Right. So you're
And
not
like
going
if you're
to
a
shame me if I
beginner,
don't have any.
well, and the thing too is if you're a beginner and you're just starting to quilt, you might not have any strings. Right?
Right.
Like you might, okay, I just bought a bundle of fat quarters, now what? That kind of thing.
Right.
So
Um,
yeah,
you didn't hear what I said. I said, so you're not going to, if I come over and play, you're not going to shame me because I don't have any strings.
I'm sitting
Um,
here looking at my strings going, do I have enough to do Twinkle Twinkle in the next one that I want to do? But yeah, well.
Day says to Heather, are you right? We're never bored. Everyone, share hello. There's always somewhere to go and fun to be had. Thank you
Yeah,
for explaining Quilt Bingo, Brenda. I watched you several times a week and heard you mention it, but I did not know what it was either. From Andrea, best way to find out something is always ask.
yeah.
Um, Great ladies tonight. Awesome. How do we sign up for Quilt Bingo, Ninetta?
You watch the videos when they come out.
Yep, you just watch them.
You're already signed up.
Yep. See y'all later. Have a blessed evening. Awesome. Pam's Handmade. Hi, sweetie, and welcome, Donna and Brenda. Donna, you can play with matching fabrics too. You're killing me there, Smots. My girls tease me for being a little bit organized.
Well, it's okay. That is okay to be. There you have to be somewhat organized
Just
sometimes
a
just to
little.
deal with all the stuff we're dealing with all the time.
Right.
I opened up a drawer because moving 2 sewing rooms, everything got jumbled up and tossed and turned and everything. And
Right.
I opened a drawer because I didn't know what was in there anymore, and it was like, I have zippers. I have a handful of zippers, and I'm like, where did I come up with zippers? But apparently, I have a handful in there, and I'm like, I don't know where they all came from, but
Right.
eventually,
And you probably don't even remember what project it was for. Someone could have sent it to you.
true, yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a bag of.
I don't envy you. Combining two homes into one, 2 sewing rooms. Joe would lose his mind with me. He would be like, no.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't know
But
what
every
I'm
time
doing.
you open something, isn't it like you found a new, wow, this is all new again,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I have crafting supplies I did not know I had.
It's fun to see what we have. And then you bring it out and it's all new to you again.
Yeah, I suppose, but at the same time, it's like, all right,
What?
what possessed me to buy this? Did I even buy this? Because I also get donations too, right?
Right. I
Like,
remember you were getting a lot at one time. And the way you sorted them and organized them, I was just so impressed. And I have one of my subscribers just ping me asking me about your coins, how you do the rolls. They call it
oh, yes,
yeah. So
that
can you
was
tell them how that works? Because a lot of them, how does it say? I want to read it right. Can you please ask Miss Brenda how she does the roll of coins, is what I believe she calls it with fabric.
so I don't know how much fabric given to me. It was 2.5 by 6 inch, not 6.5 that you could use in, let's say, a log cabin, but 6 inch. So, and every once in a while, as you're cutting, you're cutting a 2.5 inch strip down to, here, I'll show you. Like I have like the 2 inch squares, the 2 by 4.5, two and
Right.
a half by 4.5, 6.5 by 2.5, that kind of thing, right? I have all of that up there. Well, if you're running along like all of a sudden you have the 6 inch square. If you could, yes, cut it down to 4.5, but then you've got this crumb that you're dealing with. So
Right.
I decided, all right, so let's get rid of all the 6 inch by 2.5 inch rectangles and
Ooh.
just start sewing them all together to make a coins quilt. And I kept sewing and sewing and sewing, and my husband thought, oh, she's going crazy because he's sewing and sewing and sewing. So I kept sewing and sewing and kept joining ends together, and all of a sudden I had an entire dining room table covered with coin blocks that had all been sewn into one long string. Well, then I started rolling them, and I thought, okay, this is the height of
What can I
insanity.
do with this now?
Yeah, this is the height of insanity. What do I do now, right? So I kept rolling them up and rolling them up because it was like I have to eventually get this off the dining room table because my husband wants to eat every day. So he's like, yeah, I fed him yesterday. I don't know why he doesn't eat twice as much. But anyways, so I had this big roll and I decided, okay, let's just do this and make it 60 across. So I would take 30, 30 coins, and then I would pull them apart and then take another 30 coins. And then I started sewing them together. Did not believe how many twin size quilts I made out of that.
I
And
bet
I
you
was
made a lot.
impressed. Yeah, there was like three, and I had a baby quilt. I
Oh,
didn't have
wow.
a fourth one, but I had a baby quilt, which is okay too. And we put the guys put they applicate a fun bear on the front of the baby quilt.
Ooh,
So that was kind of cute too, right? So
right.
and then I put all the bits that when you hand applicate something on, you trim it out behind. Well, I got all those back in this funny bear shape, and I use those as something else. I took all of that apart and then used it into something else. But yeah, like it was kind of a fun little adventure. It
I
was
think
like,
that would have been cool to see
yeah,
the end result, you know?
yeah. When I did that deconstructed log cabin in 1.5 inch strips, basically I was just cleaning out my 1.5 inch strips because I didn't know what else to do with them at that point. You get so many 1.5 inch strips that you're like, okay, now what? So
What
you
are you
have
going
to,
to do?
yeah. So that's what I ended up doing is making that. Sometimes I make stuff out of necessity just to clear it out because I get too much of it. And sometimes it's just like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to play. And also,
Right. Now,
we
what
do
is the
that now.
strangest thing you've ever found in your sewing room? The strangest off the wall thing.
The strangest off the wall thing. Oh my goodness.
Everybody in the chat, you can answer it too, and I'll read the craziest thing you found in your sewing room.
Wow. Well, I have
Kind of
also,
like when you go to the Price is Right and they tell you to look for something in your pocketbook.
yeah,
What is the one thing in your sewing room? It's like you wouldn't think you need, but it's there.
granola bars.
Mm,
Granola bars. I mean, when I'm running, especially in the afternoon, I'm running low on energy. So I kind of think it's a nice little quick boost of sugar to get me through to like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock whenever I decide.
right,
Also, a group of us, we've been getting together so for like, I don't know how long now. And when the Zoom first started, because of the pandemic, everybody was like a little nervous about how to do Zoom.
right,
So the lipstick came in so at least you're on the Zoom meeting with some lipstick,
right.
right? So people now have forgotten about that lipstick. So now they find it and they're like, what is this doing in here? And I said, oh, it's time to put our lipstick on. So we'd all put our lipstick on, make a game out of it.
Oh,
Well,
that's too
so
funny.
much fun. Just a little
This
bit of fun.
this is funny. Andrea says her husband, LOL. Amy says my husband too. Pam's homemade painter's tape. Mitzi says a wine rack. Janine says band-aids. Andrea, great minds think alike. I put my fat quarters on the wine rack. I'm sure you do, Mitzi. I'm sure you do, my friend.
That's the new piecing potion, right? I also
Yeah,
you gotta remember too, guys, I share my sewing room with camera and lighting equipment. So there's a lot of odd things in my sewing room. And I have those dry erase boards, and I
right.
call them Stan. Go check with Stan what the plan is. Stan's got the plan. Don't talk to me
Right.
about it.
It's your inspiration board. Like you write on it, you have to name it.
Yeah, we have Stan. So that's kind of what I've got. What else have I got here? That's kind of weird. Oh,
Okay. Katie Kraft says cat food cans filled with leftover grout. Use them as pattern weights. That would be different.
that
I
works.
never would have thought it.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, do what it takes.
I have berry containers, right? That you put fabric in, and then that's your little bowl of, okay, this is where that's going, kind of. That's
Right.
I reuse all that kind of stuff. I also have a CD disc container
Cool. See, I
for
pitched them. I would have not thought to keep that. Found my husband's tool in my sewing room.
your husband's what?
She says, I found my husband's tools in my sewing room.
Oh, I
You
thought
must have been working on something. You win, Kitty Crap. That's the weirdest thing. Yes, pottery wheel. Painted rocks used for fabric weights. You guys.
I thought she said I found my husband's toe in my
Oh.
sewing room. What?
I'd have been like, what? How is
Oh my
that
goodness.
even possible? Painted rocks used for fabric weights. I don't have a sewing room. You have a sewing home. You sew all over your home, Heather.
Yes.
I remember I was a dining room table girl. You're
I have
fancier than me, Joydy.
I just found my painter's tape. Yes, I have painter's tape as well.
Now, do you long arm or do you do all yours on your machine, hun?
I had
That's one of my questions here.
I have a long arm, or I had a long arm, and I'm trying to sell it now because it was overwhelming. We bought the long arm and we had no place to set it up. Actually, we set it up in the room behind the screen here.
Mhm.
And half of it, or a good chunk of it, was in the closet. And it's like, I can't long arm anything with it in the closet. Like, hello. And it was kind of like, so that wasn't working out well. So
Right,
we decided, okay, enough. We can't move it. There's no place to move it. So let's sell it.
right,
And then I can continue, doing any kind of free motion quilting I have to do on my 301A Singer because it's excellent machine to do free motion quilting with.
right.
And then a few years back, before we bought the long arm, my dear friend Jana gave or sold me Brutus, which is a 1915 Singer,
Ooh.
110 years old, that was a commercial machine used for embroidery. So free motion quilting for him, not a problem.
Oh, piece of cake.
Not a problem. So he has been motorized, and I have a heart, like, he's fast. When you're doing free motion quilting on him, he is fast. Like, you have a hard time pushing it through fast enough for him. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah, but he's a gorgeous, makes gorgeous stitches, perfect stitches
oh, you can't beat that then.
yeah.
Um,
So, but yeah, for most of my quilting I've done on a 301A,
right.
right? So
When rotary cutting first came out, I was limit out. I was close sewing and used canned goods for pattern weights. I was afraid of using pins. I bet. I have my husband. I thought you said bladder. Good Lord, ladder in my sewing room. Um, if they get left in my sewing room, they're mine. Teach him to leave his stuff laying around. Amy found a card jack, but she took it out there to begin with. Yes. I had a ladder too until yesterday. My husband needed it. God love yous. I totally butchered that one. I really thought it said something else.
it's okay.
Like,
It's
why
okay.
is his bladder in the sewing room? I found my living room in my sewing room. I think we all do. We want to contain. And it just takes a life of its own. I don't know how else to put it.
My husband asked me one day, do you need a bigger room to have your sewing room in? And I just told him, I said, I will expand until I am no longer allowed to expand. You realize this, right? And he was, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, I have an area 51 in the other room that, it's not in my way, so I don't have to do any of my UFOs. There's backing and batting and whatnot stored in the other room as well. So yeah,
Right.
like, you think about this, I will be allowed to expand. If I'm allowed to expand, I will take over the entire house. Be careful of what
Right.
you wish for. And he was
They
like,
need to contain us. I
yes, he does.
guarantee you. Terry, that's where my sewing room is. Benefit of living alone.
Oh, my girlfriend set up her cutting table on her kitchen island. It's the perfect height because it's right at her belly button, right, for cutting.
And
Right?
that's so you don't hurt your back.
Yeah, just the perfect height for her. And she would do all her cutting and watch the news because the kitchen island, she could see her TV and she could cut at the same time and get the news.
Oh,
And
I love her.
yeah, well, her ironing board was down in the basement. Her cutting table was on the kitchen and the main floor. Her sewing room was upstairs. So she said, I need to keep in getting my steps. My doctor is telling
Wear
me.
one of those Fitbits.
Yeah, she was getting her steps all right, and it was like, good grief.
Let
But
me
yeah, what
see.
a great idea. If you're living by yourself, yeah, you can. If you've got 3 levels, yeah, you can go up and down, do stairs all day, stay in shape.
Absolute. Bodies by sewing. Be careful or you will find your ironing station in the bathroom. You never know. So blessed by Jess is in the house and telling us hello. Hello,
Hi.
Jess. Um, yes, my living room and my dining room and no more company. I'll meet you out for dinner. Then you don't even have the mess, right?
Yeah,
I tell you what, that sounds like a win to me. Definitely
yeah,
a win.
yeah. Jeff,
Thankful that I have my craft room, planning on moving the other machine downstairs. Now, are all of your sewing machine singers?
no, I have a Janome. That's it here. It's a heavy duty Janome and it only does a straight stitch. There's no computerized parts in it. So it is it's quite the workhorse. I was quite surprised at how well it works. I also have a Faf Grand Quilter and I also have a lower end baby lock and a Husqvarna.
Ooh,
I am not impressed at all with Husqvarnas.
right. I've heard a
I
lot about them, so I get that.
when I bought it, it didn't last very long before I had to go back into the shop. And then when I was the second time I had to take it in, we're not even talking like within 4 months, right, of me having it. Second time I had to take it in, I had the ladies in the shop actually contradicting themselves. And that's at the point I should have said I want my money back. But
Right. But you're like I am, you didn't.
yeah, I was trying to be nice and get the situation resolved, the problem resolved, right? Because that's what you work towards, right? Resolve the problem.
Yeah.
And then we found out, then it stopped working altogether,
Did they
right?
sell you a
So
refurbished?
I don't know what they sold me, but we were no longer under warranty because we only had the year-long warranty. And of course, 5 months were in Tucson, the other 6 were in Edmonton. My warranty ran out when we were back in Tucson, right? So I was like,
Mm,
now. So we contacted Husqvarna. Husqvarna would not sell us the motherboard. My husband's an IT person and installs all sorts of, like
right. He could have
motherboards,
fixed it.
no problem. They wouldn't sell us the motherboard because we were not a certified sewing machine technician. Oh yeah.
Is there a black market you can find that stuff?
Oh no. So we took it to our sewing machine tech down there, and he was sitting there. He was like, Husqvarnas are the worst people to deal with. The
Mm,
worst. And it was like we don't have the right to repair our own machine. Like with a Singer, like a vintage Singer, they have books online for free
right.
that
You can order
explain to
from.
you how to do all of your maintenance as well as your daily weekly maintenance, that kind of thing, right? They
Right.
tell you how to do all that. And it's like I'm not that gifted to be able to do all that heavier maintenance, right? But I can, I sweep out my bob, and every time I change my bob, and that kind of thing, I oil it.
Right.
But yeah, you don't have the right to repair this Husqvarna that we bought, and I'm like, well, we bought it, it's ours.
Right. One chick is out the store, it's yours.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't have the. It's you do not have the right to repair, which kind of made me blink.
That's funny with me.
It made me blink a few times. It's like, I just, pardon me. I couldn't wrap my head around it for the life
I bet
of
your
me.
husband was like, "Excuse me, please." Joe would have told him something else. He would have
Yeah,
been like, "No, you keep it. Here you go."
yeah. Well, so anyways, I guess we have to we're gonna go to a technician, a person that we know that fixes motherboards. Because the motherboard is something like 900 US, and I'm like, how much?
900 in the
Oh,
US. Oh, wow.
900 US, how much? And that was a few years ago. So I decided, nope, we're not paying 900 US.
No,
No, no, no, no.
I would be like you. No.
Yeah. But I'm very happy with my non-computerized machine. So,
Oh, good Lord. I would be the same way.
well, there's
Joe
lots
says
of
there
people
has
that,
to be someone, there has to be a site somewhere that you can go and buy. There has to
yeah,
be. That's not going to cost you your firstborn.
yeah.
I just looked at my Fath. It's a grand quilter. Awesome.
Yeah, that Grand Quilter is supposed to be a very, very good machine. And
Yeah,
when I was measuring throat space on a Singer 301A, it's about 7.5 inches. And I think on a
right.
Grand Quilter, it's like 9 inches. So you've got that extra inch and a half, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to do free motion quilting,
That
that's
makes a difference.
huge, huge, huge difference. So yes, I'm very excited to start doing some
That's
of.
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I have a Christmas gift that I should have got ready last year to hand to quilt, and I'm not going to hand quilt it, so I figured I'd better get it to her this year before she has a bird.
Oh,
Some of you have seen it. It's in my backdrop. Mrs. Bannister's Star Wars with all the
oh,
Star Wars prints.
that is so cool.
Yeah. So my oldest daughter is a Star Wars fan, so she wanted this last year. So, and I
Did you
didn't do.
tell her it's in the works?
I told her it's in the queue, waiting to be done. She
Right.
said, "Is it in your Area 51 box?" I guess she knows me better than I thought she did, but so I said
Right.
no. And then I went and got it out of Area 51.
Right. Manita says I'd call B on them. Let me maintain my own machine. If I mess it up, too bad. Katie writes, not very clever of them to screw over someone with that amount of subscribers. I don't think they care about stuff like that.
Well, they don't.
No, we're little people in a big pond.
Very
I have
little
half
people.
grand. Awesome. Yeah, I knew you had a FAF, Janine. I used my Singer 201 on a frame, 8-inch throat works for me. That's perfect. So Terry does restoration, if I'm saying the right word. She started painting them and restoring them on her channel.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But my daily machine is a brother. Straight stitch only, love it. Michelle the Quilter, I don't believe mine is computerized. We'll have to dig it out of the extra room where the goodies are. Back then I paid 800. Donna Hitch is in the house. Hello, sweetheart, and welcome. So does anybody have anything fun you want to ask Miss Brenda tonight? You know everything about me. Let's dig a little deeper into Brenda.
Oh no.
Oh no, don't tell. Beautiful quilt. She does beautiful work over there. You would, what some people call scraps, she turns into treasure. And that's what's beautiful about it. I could sit and watch all day. Sometimes I sit up here and watch her on the TV so I don't get to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like,
Donna, can I ask you a question?
you can ask me anything.
Did you ever think you'd get as many subscribers as you did? As
No,
you have?
no.
Neither have I. I am just like,
When I first started, it wasn't even my doing. My husband and granddaughter did this to me. And I
oh,
said, there's not 10 people out there that want to see an old woman sew straight stitches and try to turn it into a quilt. Because I didn't even call myself a quilter. I didn't know anything about FPP. And my first quilt is beautiful. My daughter loves it, but the back has eyelashes. Heck, I thought it was supposed to be like that. I didn't know. And she loves it. It's on her bed. And I cut up some of their family clothes and incorporated in it, but mainly their daughter and son.
yeah,
So that will stay there. I said, let me pick it apart now that I know what I'm doing and redo the back, do the quilting. They're like, nope, it's staying.
yep,
Nope. We have something no one else will ever have, and that's your first. And I was like, okay. But it's ugly. It's ugly. But no, when we hit, I think it was like 10 subscribers, my granddaughter and Joe were like, look, people's watching. And I'm
yep,
like, and it's weird to talk to yourself.
yeah.
That I had trouble getting over. Um, let me see. Then when I hit 50, I about gave away the sewing room. Here, give away. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so excited. Then 100, I was like, Joe, are you calling your friends to subscribe? And then I went to a state meeting because I was state president, and they blasted my channel out all over the place. Well, then I went from 1,000 to, I think it was like what, 5,000, 3 or 4,000, Joe said, overnight. And they were doing me a favor by subscribing, but they didn't know it's not helping me because you're not watching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was the
Yep.
double-edged sword. Thank you, but it doesn't help. The
Yeah, yeah.
numbers are there, but thank you. But yeah, if someone would have told me I would be a quilter after the medical field, I'd said, yeah, right, okay. Gonna quit acting like they infected YouTube. They inflicted YouTube on you. They did. My first channels was I would channel surf.
I'm gonna put that first video up again.
I don't think you have it. I thought you got rid of it. Joe's gonna put my first video up. I made him block it until our anniversary coming on. And I was like, oh my God. He put me on the sun porch. He had an office out there, and he goes, you're gonna have to do an intro. And I said, an intro to what? And he goes, to our channel. And I said, what are you talking about? He hung quilts up behind me, and I mean, my face is right here, Brenda, and I'm talking to the TV. He didn't know how to adjust the camera. I didn't know what I was doing, and looked like Freaky Friday took over. And
Yeah. My first my first videos are pretty terrifying. You can actually see me sweat and shake.
yeah.
So
But I've gotten to the point to where I'm complacent. It's like, thank you for coming to watch. If you don't like what I do, I'm sorry, but this is all I have, you know. This is it. I'm learning along with you.
yeah.
Let me see. Definitely will watch. I'm sure Joe pulls it down because as soon as it goes up, it gets a lot of hits. And I mean a lot of hits, and then he pulls it down because I'm like, oh my gosh, Joe, take that away when I notice it's up. Because people start pinging my phone, and Heather's really quick. She'll share that puppy all over the place for Joe. And she's like, Donna's first video's up. But I really don't like that video, and I want to redo another one. And he's like, no, that's our memories. When we look at it now, it's funny. 2 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I've grown so much. Don't. Oh. It was crazy. But yeah, I've sat here. Well, our first ones was downstairs in the dining room on the table, and I kid you not, I would shake. You could see sweat beads coming.
Oh yeah.
I was petrified, and then he goes, "DA, DA," and I'm like, "DA, what's DA mean?" He goes, "Dead air, Donna, like dead air." I didn't know a daggone thing.
Yeah, less that my husband does that. And I'm like, what? It's like, what does that mean?
Need to give Joe a whiteboard for over there. That way he can write me a note. But that's not going to work. And I'm so thankful he's over there. Yeah. But
what's this? It's like doesn't mean anything to me.
no.
Holding it, and it's like, what did he say?
I stop what I'm doing. I'm like, hold on, guys. Joe wants to talk to me because I have to hear what he's saying. And here he's telling me I had dead air. He still does dead air. Yes, he does. Hello for a bit. Life is busy. Sylvia, yes, it is. Life is extremely busy. It's that time of year. I do have half of the top done. I'll be able to show you this much tonight.
Ooh, yes. At least you're productive. That is so pretty.
But this is just the first 4 rows. It's got 4 more to go. And maybe by Sunday, when I do my Sunday live, I'll have the rows built and I can just join them together.
That's very pretty, Donna. Very
Thank
pretty.
you. I appreciate it.
And that's a good one too for beginners to learn how to do their half square triangles.
Absolutely. There's a lot of them in it. You mean da 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 da? That's what they tell me. The girls will text me, my moderators, DA, 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 and my phone will start pinging on the back end. So I'm like, I look up and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be talking. Got to run and get hubby some food. It's going to be a late night sewing for me. Amy, I'm going to be up working too. So, let me see. Joe should put it up. Wait a minute. Joe should put it up on a live so we can all watch together with popcorn and wine. Maybe. Depends. You're going to hear wine. No, I don't even know how long it is. Probably like the best 3 minutes of my life. Joe says 3 or 4 minutes. It's funny now, but back then I was like, hi, my name's Donna. And I was so stiff and I'm like, head touching the quilts behind me. And I'm like, I was petrified. I should have thought, now I know, I should have had him type something on the monitor. So I could sit there and be pleasant and just try to read it, you know, make it bold so I didn't have to wear my glasses and be shining. But it's our season of life. That's how we learn. Premiere. Yeah, we could do it as a very, very short premiere. And then I'll do one that says take 2 5 years later. How would that be, right? All right, guys, it's almost 8 o'clock. I promised Miss Brenda we would hang out for a bit. And I'm so thankful that you were able to come over and hang out with me.
It's always a pleasure hanging out with you there, Donna. Really good.
If you guys haven't already subscribed to Miss Brenda, please slip over and check out her channel. She's a wealth of knowledge, a lot of great content. And if you've got scraps, she'll show you how to use them up. And it's perfect. I'm telling you, I love her scrap busters. So you guys take care. God bless. Have a fabulous weekend. And I'll see you back here Sunday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.